一直甲咱讲提醒咱，因是无相像，也毋过相是有若甲咱讲兄弟。
In verse 9, where is your brother? How does Cain respond to that?
第9节，你的小弟亚伯伫倒落，该问怎样回答？怎样回答？
First with the statement, then with the question. I do not know. And where is, or am I my brother's keeper?
伊的回答其中有一句话，嘛有一个问题一句话就是唔知，一个问题就是我检是顾守我的小弟的嘛。
So I'm not sure Cain is doing so well here on this pop quiz from God, right?
我想该阮伫遮回答上帝这个问题嘛，毋是回答了真水啊。
The first time God says, why are you angry? And Cain doesn't have a response, which leads to murder. And then this time, God says, where is your brother? And Cain says, I don't know.
第一摆上帝问伊讲，你怎样受气的事，伊无回答。第二摆上帝问讲，你的小弟亚伯伫倒落，伊讲毋知。
And where is Cain's brother?
该阮的兄弟伫什么所在？
Cain knows precisely where his brother is, right?
该阮知嘛，该阮知影伊小弟即马伫对嘛。
Cain knows that exactly one verse before, Cain has rose up against his brother and killed him.
因为伫即节圣经的正前一节，就写讲该阮伊下手来杀伊的小弟啊。
So what's Cain supposed to say? He's in the ground.
所以该阮安怎回答？伊都已经待伫遐，已经种伫遐。
So Cain says, I do not know.
所以无法度回答嘛，所以就讲我毋知。
And then Cain asked a very important question back to God.
该阮问上帝一个真重要的问题。
It's a famous question that we've all heard before.
这问题咱拢捌听过，出现的问题。
Am I my brother's keeper?
我敢是顾守我的小弟，我的兄弟。
I think the text here sort of opens up with new meaning and new possibilities.
我想这个故事伫这个所在，通过这个问题，安尼开拓一个新的一个世界。
We receive at this point in the story one of the main reasons for the whole story.
咱前到读到这节以前，咱有想的就是讲唯一的一个问题。
We weren't sure where the story was going, what was going to happen, and now we get this question, this innocent question, am I my brother's keeper?
咱读到遮其实无真清楚讲知影讲故事要向对一个方向来发展。不过遮安尼到遮已经清楚，我兼是顾守我的兄弟的人。
And we notice that God does not respond directly to that question.
咱有注意到讲上帝伊无直接来回答这个问题。
In other words, the response must be obvious. The answer to the question is obvious. Yes, you are the keeper of your brother.
我想上帝的迄种回答，其实是一种答案应该本来是足清楚啦，是，你就是顾守你的兄弟的，应该是安尼回答。
The keeper, or in Hebrew it can mean the guardian, the one who guards, right? The guardian of your brother.
这个顾守顾守我的兄弟的迄个顾守，伫表来文内底，应该是迄个监护的监护权迄个意思。
And remember, this is not just your brother.
这毋是只有兄弟，
This is the one that's so different from you.
就是讲这是代表迄个甲你你以外的人啦，甲你无相像的人。
We're holding that intention. It's not just you're the keeper of the people in your family. In this story, it's you are the keeper of people who are very different than you.
咱毋是这个意思，毋是讲你只有咧顾恁兜的人、厝内的人迄种的兄弟，因为这个故事一直强调两个无相像的人，足无相像，所以伊的意思就是讲你爱顾守迄个甲你无相像的人。
Remember people who have different names than you, different occupations.
咱人有人甲咱名无共，职业无共咧，咱故事一直咧讲名无共，职业无共，
Who have different offerings, who have
无
different
相像的
responses.
奉献。
This is what is tied up in Cain and Abel. And so when Cain says, "Am I my brother's keeper?" he's also considering, "Am I the one who is in charge of people who are so different than me?"
所以该问问即个问题，我敢是固守我兄弟的人，伫即个故事的即个顶下文中间内底伊其实嘛是咧问讲搁较大的意思，就是讲我敢是迄个固守甲我无相像的人，我敢有迄个责任。
Cain has just committed violence against the one that's so different. And so his question is particularly profound.
因为该问拄仔开始一个甲伊无相像、真无相像的人，所以伊问即个问题特别的迄个意义。
I think the text is trying to tell us that every murder is a murder of our brother.
我想即个圣经在咧甲咱讲，每一个谋杀害死人的性命，拢总是害死咱的兄弟还是姊妹。
And it does that in a very sophisticated way by having the murderer ask this profound question that doesn't get a response.
伊圣经要甲咱指出即个真理，讲每一个谋杀拢是谋杀咱的兄弟伊用一个真较复杂的一个讲法伊的复杂度就是讲上帝无直接来回答即个问题。
So we never know if Cain is understanding and getting it. Is this a question that he thinks he knows the answer to, or does he not know anything?
所以因为上帝无直接回答该问即个问题，所以咱无清楚讲，无清楚的咱确定讲是毋是该问伊真正毋知影答案吗？
Is this a genuine question, or is Cain basically saying, "I'm not my brother's keeper"?
这到底是一个真正是一个问题，讲我爱问这个答案，还是讲该问伊假设讲我实在毋免对我的兄弟来负责，我毋是我的小弟兄弟的固守的人。
After what Cain has just done, it's very difficult to see it as a real question that Cain wants the answer to.
伫该问杀死伊的小弟了后是事实上真困难，讲甲即个当作是一个真问题来看。
But even if Cain doesn't get it, we can still get it today. We can still get the meaning of the question.
毋过准做讲该问伊无了解即个问题的答案，真正想要问，今仔日咱嘛知影即个问题的答案是啥？
We are keepers
咱是
of our brother.
咱是固守咱的兄弟姊妹的人，
We are responsible to guard them.
咱对固守因咱有某一种的责任。
So why are you angry? And am I my brother's keeper?
所以你啥事受气？我敢是固守我的兄弟的人，两个问题。
So after God in verse 9 says, "Where is your brother?" God asks another question in verse 10.
所以上帝伫第9节问讲，你的小弟阿伯伫倒落的以后，伊有问第3个问题伫第10节。
In verse 10, the story, God asked, "What have you done?"
伫第10节，上帝问一个问题：你有做啥物？
This question comes quickly right after the second question. They come together.
这个问题甲第2个问题相接，所以因两个问题其实是互相关联。
What have you done is linked to the question of where is your brother?
你有做啥物？甲你的小弟伫啥物所在是相关的问题。
Cain is supposed to examine his actual actions. What have you done? Action.
该问应该是爱来来看伊家己到底有做啥，伊的行为是啥物。
I think this is particularly interesting because the first question is about anger and emotions, And now this question is about actions.
这趣味的所在，第一个问题是在问讲你啥事受气，吼，那是一种关于你的情绪的一个问题。毋过这是咧讲你的行为，你有做啥物？
Cain didn't pay attention to his emotions, and now that's led to bad actions.
该阮无注意伊家己情绪的问题，所以即马情绪的问题致到你有歹的行为。
God is asking Cain to look back on his actions, his violent actions toward other people.
上帝爱该阮来回头看伊家己，怎样用暴力来对待甲伊无相像。
God is inviting Cain to confront his hateful responses.
上帝邀请该阮来检视伊家己的迄种大冤仇、大仇恨迄种的回应。
God is inviting Cain to name his actions.
上帝爱该阮家己来指出伊家己到底做啥物代志。
What have you done?
你有做啥物？
This story of Cain and this question, what have you done, acknowledges that when humans see differences, we often engage in violence.
这个故事甲这个问题你做啥物互咱来看讲咱若无注意咱的行为，咱若无看咱的情绪通常无注意咱的情绪，通常拢致到暴力的迄种行为。
It's really a classic story. When we have differences, we tend to go to violence.
这是一个真典型的故事无相像，甲咱无相像的人，通常会致到咱去做一种暴力的行动。
We try to eliminate the difference by eliminating the one who is different from us.
咱要解决这个问题差别的问题，咱消灭差别通常咱做的就是去消灭迄个人。
I think the question, what have you done, is a call to confession.
我想你有做啥物？这个问题是一个爱咱来告别咱的行为的一种问题。
Presbyterians like calls to confession, right?
长老会真爱咱来告别咱的罪。
We practice every week in our churches confessing to God what we have done, what we have left undone.
每一个礼拜，咱伫礼拜的听书内底拢长老会改革总的礼拜，拢强调咱爱伫上帝面前告别咱做啥物，还是讲无够业，无做啥物。
So God calls Cain to confess. What have you done?
所以上帝爱这个该阮来告别，到底伊做啥物？
So 3 questions. Why are you angry? Where is your brother? And what have you done?
三个问题，上帝所问的，你啥事受气？你的兄弟伫什么所在？第三个问题，你做啥物？
I think these 3 questions can help us as we engage our differences.
我想这三个问题会当帮助咱若咧处理这个差别这个多元化差别的这个问题，是这三个问题当帮助咱。
So that gets us to verse 10, and we're going up to 16 today. Are there any questions?
咱已经到这个第10节，咱今仔日会看到10，咱到问题。
Okay, so now the rest of the story, starting in verse 10.
来，这剩的故事对第10节开始。
Let's read it again. And God said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand."
第10节，上帝讲：你有做啥物？你的小弟的血的声对地后叫我，地有开喙对你的手来接受你小弟的血，当你对这个地受咒诅。
When you till the ground, it will no longer yield to you its strength. You will be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, And Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is greater than I can bear."
你正做，你的地无要出土产互你，你要四界走，漂流地上。该阮对耶和华讲，我的刑罚太重，过头伫我所会当的。
Today you have driven me away from the soil, and I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and anyone who meets me may kill me.
你今仔日赶我离开这个地面，无通住伫你的面前。我四界走，漂流地上，见若拄着我，会要杀死我。
Then the Lord said to him, "Not so. Whoever kills Cain will suffer a sevenfold vengeance." And the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who came upon him would kill him.
15节，咱的教授的翻译，是耶和华对伊讲，袂安尼，不过咱的台语圣经讲，因为安尼，我去教伊。既若杀死该阮的，要受7倍的报应。
Then Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden.
耶和华甲该阮立一个记号，免得伊拄着伊会杀死伊。该阮离开耶和华的面前，去伫埃甸的东西罗定的地遐去。
I want to focus now on Cain's actions and God's actions in these verses.
我现在要来要来注重伫即个该阮的行动，甲上帝的行动。
And I especially want to think about God's presence.
我特别要来强调上帝的临在。
This idea comes up twice in the text. In 14, it says, Cain says, "I will be hidden from your face." And in 16, Cain went away from the presence of God.
即个上帝的临在的问题出现2摆，14节伊讲你若赶我离开即个地面，无通住伫你的面前，无通住伫你的面前。16节，该阮就离开耶和华的面前，即个面前 presence。
So I want us to think about being in the presence of God and departing from the presence of God.
所以我要来讲啥物叫做住伫耶和华的面前，啥物叫做离开伊的面前。
But first, we have to start in verse 10 with this, with Cain being cursed from the ground.
所以咱来先来讲第10节，讲该阮为着安尼，即个土地来受咒诅，对即个地来受咒诅。
Cain is told that the ground will no longer produce fruit for him.
上帝甲该阮讲，因为伊的犯罪，所以地无要搁出土产来互伊。
And remember what Cain does for a living, what his occupation is?
你敢搁会记即该阮伊的职业是啥？伊咧做啥物话来生活？
The punishment relates directly to his job.
即个刑罚直接牵连到伊的职业啊。
Cain is a worker of the ground, so the ground is cursed.
该阮是做田的，即马田土地受咒诅。
And God also says in verse 12 that you will be a wanderer and a fugitive.
上帝也讲第12节，伊讲对那了后，你要四界走，漂流地上。
This text in some ways parallels what's already happened in Genesis 3.
即个故事伫某一个程度甲即个第3章的故事有即个平行的关系。
If you look at Genesis 3:17,
你若看第3章的17节，
you will see that God says to the man, to Adam, the second part of that verse, "Cursed is the ground because of you."
第3章17节，上帝甲亚当讲，土地因为你的缘故受咒诅。
So now the ground is twice cursed.
所以这土地已经受咒诅2摆。
Two curses on the ground within 2 chapters of each other.
伫2章的中间，土地受咒诅。
Notice that it does not say in chapter 4 that Cain is cursed.
咱要注意 第四章则无讲该阮受咒诅，
You are cursed from the ground.
是你要对这个土地受咒诅，
You will have to toil and work to produce something.
你得爱真辛苦来耕作这个土地。
So we have a punishment that fits the crime.
所以这个刑罚甲这个甲伊所做的这个的罪是有符合。
In Genesis 3, the serpent, in Genesis 3:13, the serpent is also cursed. Genesis 3:14.
第3章14节，蛇也受咒诅。
So the serpent is cursed, but then the ground of Adam and the ground of Cain are cursed.
所以蛇受咒诅，毋过亚当甲该阮所建造的土地受咒诅。
So we have this same pattern in Genesis 3 as we have in Genesis 4. We have a crime or a sin, then we have God investigating it, and then God punishes.
所以3章4章同款的故事的形态，某一种的犯罪，上帝调查了后，上帝刑罚。
So now I do think we have a judging God.
所以这个角度要看上帝咱像审判官的迄上帝。
Sin has entered the world through murder, and God must respond.
这个罪进入这个世间，通过这个谋杀，进入世间，上帝爱有某一种的回应。
Sin, which was violence lurking at the door, has now come in, walked in the door, and God must respond.
罪就暴力，这种的罪本来是埋伏伫门口，即摆已经登堂入室，进入你的厝啊，所以上帝应该爱有回应。
There would be no justice if the first murder took place and God didn't respond.
所以上帝若这个谋杀发生，上帝若无回应，迄就无公义啊。
So Cain, there are consequences to Cain's behavior.
所以该阮的行为有伊的后果。
And we see those consequences here in verses 10 and 11.
咱伫10节甲11节看到迄个后果是啥？
So judgment, there are consequences. God must respond to the murder.
上帝爱审判，这爱行为爱得到伊的后果。
But there is also grace.
不过嘛有恩典伫内底，
Because Cain responds that his punishment is too great.
因为该阮伊讲，我的刑罚超过我所会当担当。
God judges, and Cain, like many of the Old Testament figures, talks back.
上帝判断了后，不过真侪亲像旧约圣经真侪其他的地，该阮伊嘛有伊的回应。
Now Cain is finding his voice, whereas earlier he couldn't respond, now he's responding.
该阮伫即个进程拢无回答啥物问题，即摆伊无回答也袂使，即摆就开始有声音嘛。
Whereas earlier Cain said, I do not know, now Cain does know that the punishment is too great.
伫头前该阮讲伊毋知，即摆伊就知啊啦，伊知影讲迄个刑罚超过伊所会当忍受。
So Cain responds to God, and what does Cain say?
所以该阮伊回答咱来看伊讲啥物话。
What is Cain worried about?
该阮伫烦恼的是啥物？
Driven away from the ground.
Yeah, verse 14. Driven away from the ground.
14节伊四界漂流，
Cain's worried about being hidden from God's face.
伊也烦恼伊爱离开上帝的面前。
Cain is worried about being a wanderer on the earth.
伊也烦恼四界走漂流地上。
And maybe most importantly, Cain is worried that someone who meets him will kill him.
不过可能伊上烦恼的是讲，若去互人拄着，有人要甲杀。
Notice that Cain interprets his punishment differently than what God said. I want you to notice the difference between what God says and the way Cain understands it.
我爱来大家来注意该阮伊安怎解说伊的刑罚，伊的了解甲上帝真正互伊的刑罚有差别。
God says, you are cursed from the ground, and Cain says, I'll be hidden from your face.
上帝是讲你要对这个地来受咒诅，也毋过该问是讲今仔日你赶我离开这个地面上。
God never talks about Cain being hidden from God.
上帝毋捌讲该问无法度通搁再看见上帝。
God talks about Cain not being able to work the ground. That's the punishment.
上帝是讲你无法度通搁再对地来简单来得到土产啊定。
The focus when God is speaking is on Cain's occupation and Cain not being able to do the work anymore.
上帝显化的重点是讲你无法度通搁再做这个你本来咧做的工作。
But then when Cain responds, Cain interprets it as, I will be away from the presence of God.
毋过该问伊对这个刑法的解说是讲对答了后，我无法度通搁住伫你的面前。
So I'm wondering, I'm questioning, I'm thinking, does Cain really understand his punishment correctly?
所以我的问题是讲，该问敢真正了解伊受什么种的刑法？
Cain thinks or assumes that a person can just wander away from God.
该问伊假设讲人真正有法度通四界走漂流离开上帝的面前。
But can Cain ever really escape from God's presence?
毋过该问敢真正有法度通离开上帝的面前？
I think the story here at this point seems to be addressing that very issue of God's presence.
我想这个故事发展到这，重点转变到来处理这个上帝伫上帝的面前这个问题。
And this question of presence is going to come up again at the very end of the story.
这个伫上帝的面前会当是毋是会当伫上帝的面前，这个问题伫这个故事的最后会搁再搁再出现。
So grace comes to Cain, even if Cain doesn't quite understand.
所以准做讲，该问无真了解伊的刑法的真正的内容，毋过恩典嘛是临到伊。
I think that in fact might be a good summary of the Christian story. Grace comes, even if we don't understand it.
我想这是一个对基督教的整个的故事来讲，是一个真好的这个结论啦虽然咱无真了解，毋过恩典临到咱的身上。
Grace also comes in the form of a mark or a sign on Cain.
这个恩典临到这个该问嘛，做一个记号临到这个该问。
We don't know what the sign is. We're not sure about what it was.
咱毋知影这个记号到底生做啥物款，嘛毋知影迄是啥物种的物件。
But it must have been visible by other people.
毋过，咱会当想象讲，迄是某一种看会见看会到别人会当看会到的一种物件。
So Jewish and Christian artists down through the centuries have had a lot of fun trying to paint and depict what Cain looked like with this mark.
所以犹太人基督徒伫安尼这个故事，前有这个故事以来就有一个真趣味的迄落因会当多想象讲到底这个记号是啥。
And the reason for the mark is because is so that people won't kill Cain in response to Cain killing Abel.
这个记号存在意义是主要要避免人若看到该问，会因为伊杀死伊的小弟，想要甲杀啊。
Notice that God does not cut Cain off as totally unredeemable or completely evil.
咱知影讲上帝伊无完全来将该问来计因为伊所犯的这个罪。
God has not given up on Cain.
上帝无放弃这个该问。
God has not given up on this first murderer.
上帝无放弃这个第一个谋杀者。
God has a lot of questions for Cain,
上帝有问伊足侪问题问唔对，
but God hasn't given up.
毋过上帝无放弃伊。
God still expects Cain to live a normal life, protected under this grace.
上帝期待该阮继续活伫即个地面上，受即个记号的保护。
God doesn't banish Cain away.
上帝无甲伊流放去别位。
God doesn't send him wandering around hoping that he will die soon and we can get on to the next group of humans.
上帝无期待讲甲伊放去外面期待伊怎死伫外口。安尼故事重新再开始，另外一群人重新来开始。
What Cain has done is not supposed to be the end of the story. There's more to come.
该阮所做的的代志，无抵到即个故事伫遮来结束，即个故事还佫有续集。
Grace abounds to Cain even after his wrongdoing.
虽然伫即个该阮所犯的罪了后，恩典嘛还佫丰丰富富，加添伫即个故事的顶。
So God says in verse 15
所以第15节，上帝安尼讲，
that it is not the case that whoever meets Cain will kill him.
袂安尼，袂讲有人拄着该阮就想要甲杀。
And so the last thing that God does in this passage is God puts a mark on Cain.
所以上帝伫即个故事做的最后一件代志，就是互伊一个记号啦。
It's the very last action of God in the story.
这是上帝伫即个故事内底最后一个行动。
God's last action here is an action of grace.
上帝的最后一个行动是恩典的行动。
And then we come to the last verse in the story, which I think is the most interesting one.
伫最后一节这个故事的最后一节16节，我想这也是一个真趣味，这个故事趣味的所在。
In the Bible, good things always happen, exciting things always happen. The best part of the story is always at the very beginning and at the very
圣经内底好的代志趣味的代志若毋是拢发生伫起头甲落尾的所在。
So how's the story going to end? God puts this mark on Cain, and now what's going to happen? What's Cain going to go and do?
上帝甲该阮立一个记号了，这个故事要安怎结束呢？该阮要做啥？
Cain's not going to be able to farm like he used to, but he's got this mark of grace, and he's got other opportunities to do what he wants.
该阮袂当搁做田，不过有这个恩典的记号了，该阮要做啥物？
So verse 16, it says, Cain went away from the presence of the Lord.
16节圣经安尼写，该阮离开耶和华的面前。
And Cain settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden.
去伫埃甸的东边落地的地去。
Because of the American author John Steinbeck, many people focus on east of Eden.
美国的这个文学家John Steinbeck 诺贝尔奖得主，伊有一本小说《伊甸园东》（East of Eden）。
But I think the more interesting statement is at the beginning. Cain went away from the presence of God.
迄个小说的名是照即个圣经的故事。不过我感觉即个故事趣味的，毋是迄个埃甸的当时，是即个一开始的所在，该阮离开耶和华的面前。
The story does not say that God departed from Cain.
故事无写讲耶和华离开该阮。
The story does not say that God commanded Cain to leave.
故事也无讲耶和华爱该阮离开伊的面前。
Earlier in the story, God does not talk about leaving Cain. That's not part of the punishment.
伫故事的进程的所在，上帝的刑罚嘛无包括讲该阮就离开伊的面前。
But for whatever reason, Cain thinks that this departure is part of the punishment.
不过某一种原因，咱毋知影的原因，该阮感觉讲离开耶和华的面前是刑罚的一部分。
What's my point? Why am I paying attention to these little details
到
here?
底我是要讲啥呢？
Sometimes when we don't feel the presence of God, it's not because God has departed.
有当时啊，咱感觉讲上帝无甲咱同在吼，其實毋是上帝離開咱，
God has not left us.
上帝無離開咱，
Instead, we are the ones who have departed from the presence of God.
其實是咱離開上帝嘅面前，
We are the ones living in the land of Nod.
是咱去住佇落地嘅地。
And sometimes we like to live in the land of Nod,
有當時啊，咱歡喜去住佇落地，
away from the presence of God.
離開上帝嘅面前。
Cain felt that he had to leave God's presence because of his actions.
該阮感覺講，伊就愛因為伊所犯嘅罪，伊就愛去離開上帝嘅面前，去住佇落地嘅地。
But that's Cain's opinion, interpretation of what's going on, not God's.
毋過，迄是落地家己嘅解說啊，迄毋是上帝嘅意思啊。
In other words, Cain is adding on to his punishment that God has given him.
所以，該阮吼是對上帝予伊嘅刑罰嘅頂懸，佫加某一種嘅物件。
Which is often exactly what we do.
迄嘛是咱常常咧做嘅。
Grace abounds and extends out to us, and we say, well, we're not worthy, I'd rather live in the land of Nod.
上帝將恩典喜樂伫咱嘅身上，毋敢講啊，我都未堪值，所以我愛離開你嘅面前。
We think we must have done something, right? So, well, we need to leave from the presence of God.
咱感覺講咱我們做啥物種吼毋對，所以咱感覺咱就愛離開上帝嘅面前。
But of course, the story knows, and we know, that you can never get away from God's
毋
presence.
即個故事吼，知影，咱嘛知，咱攏知影講，咱無法度通離開上帝嘅面前。
It's interesting because at the end of Genesis 3, God sends Adam and Eve out of the garden.
咧，伫即個第三章吼，誒結束嘅所在，趣味嘅所在，就是吼上帝將即個亞當甲夏娃吼，互因離開即個愛甸。
God really does drive them out of the garden.
上帝真正有將因趕出愛甸樂園。
This is in verse 24 of chapter 3.
喺第三章24節。
And the very next verse, chapter 4, verse 1, says that Eve has a son with the help of God.
毋過第四節，後壁迄節就寫講，夏娃懷孕生該隱，因為耶和華的幫助。
So you think at the end of chapter 3 that they're driven out of the garden, they must no longer be in the presence of God. But the very next verse tells you they are in the presence of God.
你想講第三章24節的是因互上帝趕離開愛甸樂園，因已經離開上帝的面前嘛。毋過第四章第1節隨時甲恁講，因猶閣佇上帝的面前。
We can never get away from God's presence.
咱無法度通離開上帝的面前。
The Old Testament is full of traditions about God's presence.
舊約聖經有非常濟咱佇上帝的面前的即種嘅傳統。
Throughout the Old Testament, people are always talking about where does God live and where does God's presence reside.
規個舊約聖經內底非常濟人咧討論講上帝佇叨落，上帝同在佇啥物所在。
And in the Old Testament, there is always this drive, this desire to put God, to constrict God into one place.
規個舊約聖經人有一種傾向，一種渴望，愛將上帝甲伊限制佇一個特別的所在。
But that never works.
毋過迄毋捌成功。
So you can think of the tabernacle and the temple.
咱看會幕，看聖殿，
God's presence surely dwelt in those places.
上帝有影，伊的同在有佇遐所在。
But even as they were building the temple, there were voices, there were people around them saying, God doesn't just live in a temple.
啊，毋過準做因了咧起的時，就已經有人表達迄種聲音，上帝無真正住佇遮吧？
There's always this tension between the particular place and this universal God.
伫固定的一個所在，上帝同在，甲上帝充滿即個宇宙，即個兩項物件中間一直攏有一個緊張的關係。
The Old Testament tells us that God is always among God's people.
旧约圣经是讲上帝永远伫伊个百姓的中间，
That God is not just confined to this one temple.
上帝无受限制伫即个圣殿内底。
But Cain seems to think that he can get away from the presence of God.
毋过该阮一直想讲，伊会当离开上帝的面前。
Cain seems to think that he needs to get away from the presence of
该
God.
阮想讲，伊需要离开上帝的面前。
Cain thinks that his actions mean that he must leave God's presence.
该阮想讲，伊的行为，因为伊的行为有需要离开上帝，一定爱离开上帝的面前。
So God extends grace to Cain through the mark, and then Cain doesn't know quite what to do with that grace.
上帝施了恩典，通过即个记号伫该阮的身上，毋过该阮唔知影要安怎回应即个恩典。
So this story is why I'm so interested in this question of God's presence in our lives.
这就是安怎我对即个该阮怎样来看即个伫上帝的面前即个问题，我感觉真趣。
This question carries over into the New Testament.
因为即个故事即个问题一直延续到即个新约的圣经内面。
As Christians, we believe that God is present in a particular special way in Jesus Christ.
咱相信基督徒相信圣经新约圣经相信讲上帝的临在通过耶稣基督一种特别的方式的临在。
But we also believe that God's Spirit is within all believers.
不过咱同时也相信上帝的灵甲每一个信徒拢同在。
So it's particular and universal, right? It's in the temple, but also among all God's people.
所以这甲上帝的全宇宙的同在甲上帝临在伫迄个圣殿，即马临在伫耶稣基督的身上，还是通过圣神临在伫每一个人身上，共款的即种两项的关系中间的即种关系。
The story tells us at the end that we cannot get away from God's presence.
这故事的结尾的所在，甲咱讲，咱无法度离开上帝面前。
I'll quote the New Testament again, or maybe I'll have us all turn there. Romans 8:38.
咱来看一个罗马书第8章31节，8章38节。
Romans 8:38. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor rulers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor anything in all creation, and then the last phrase, will be able to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus our Lord.
这咱拢真熟的圣经节，因为我深信，无论是死是活是天使是掌权的现今将来，是关联的是悬是深还是别个受造的物，拢袂会过长咱伫上帝的听，就是伫咱的主基督耶稣所为的。
So then why are we living in the land of Nod?
所以是安怎咱住伫道德的地？
Why are we trying to get away from the presence of God?
是安怎咱想要爱离开上帝来过日子的？
The story of Cain ends with Cain trying to get away, which we know is impossible.
这个故事的结束的所在是道德这个该阮想要爱离开上帝的面前。
So I'll end with one more quote from the New Testament.
我要来结束这讲，
Acts 17:28.
用另外一节的圣经节，就是《使徒行传》
Acts 17:28.
17章28节。
This is Paul's sermon at Athens.
这是保罗伫雅典的讲道。
So Paul is being a philosopher. He's being philosophic here.
所以保罗即马是第一顶即个哲学家的帽啊。
And in verse 28, he says, "In him, in God, we live and move and have our being.
这28在讲，咱踮伫伊吼上帝来活、来叮当、来伫地。
What a prayer.
这是一个真好的一个祈祷。
God, you are never far from us because in you we live and move and have our being.
上帝无真正离开咱远远啊，因为咱踮伫伊来活、来叮当、来伫地。
So I encourage us as we read the story of Cain and Abel
所以咱读这个该有甲阿伯的故事的时候，我鼓励恁，
to think about when we try to leave the presence of God because of our actions.
咱来想咱伫啥物种的时阵，咱来活伫上帝面前，咱特别是咱有某一种的行为的时，你来想安怎活伫上帝面前。
When are we unable to receive God's grace that God bestows upon us?
当咱感觉咱无资格通领受上帝恩典的时，来想咱要安怎活伫上帝面前。
How many times have we settled in the land of Nod?
咱有偌济摆咱离开上帝面前去住伫落地的地，
Instead of embracing God's grace
啊无
and
来
moving forward.
无来领受上帝的恩典，重新搁再来出发。
Okay, thank you. I'm finished.
Yes, yeah.
I'll take questions if there are any.